Hey, what's up, naughty community? Welcome back to my naughty hobby for another easy to follow crochet tutorial with Amber. Today I'm going to be showing you guys how to create a very simple little heart motif just in time for Valentine's Day. I'm going to be making a few of these in a variety of colors and using them to hang up around my house. So I thought I would share how to do that with you. I was on Pinterest and was inspired when I saw some free diagrams, which I will also be posting this diagram that I will be following to show you guys how to do it. So in this tutorial, I'll be using a 4mm hook. You'll need scissors, a needle, and I did some lightweight or number 3 yarn, but this works up with any size hook and fiber you have available to you. And these are super quick and easy. You could bust out quite a few of them in a couple of hours, I would imagine. Here, maybe I'll keep this up here just in case people are jumping on a little bit late. My yarn doesn't, if it doesn't start doing that weird adjusty thing. So I'm going to be starting out with a magic ring. It's snowing in Iowa. Here in North Dakota, where I'm at, it's frigidly cold. Okay, so we're starting with a magic ring. And I might need to move my camera up just a little. We're going to secure it with 3 chains, which will also count as our first stitch of the round, our first double crochet. So a total of 3 chains coming off of our magic ring. That always bugs me if it gets all weird and lopsided. All right, we're going to work 2 double crochet into the center of our rings. Going to chain 2, and now we'll be working with groups of 3 double crochets. So we'll do 3 double crochet with the chain 2, and we want a total of 4 groups. 4 groups of 3 double crochet. This is our last group of 3 double crochets. At the end of this round, you should have a total of 12 double crochets. Before we join this together, this diagram called for a really cool join that I had never seen done before. So we'll go ahead and close up our ring here. Instead of doing any chains or anything, you do a double crochet into, let's see here, let's find, sometimes when you work with the magic ring you got to look for that first chain that you did, but we're actually going to work a double crochet right here into the 3rd chain we created instead of the chain 2. So I'd already yarned over, inserted my hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the remaining 2 to make your square. How cool is that? This pattern. Now we're going to chain 3 again right off of that double crochet that we made, and going over that double crochet we're going to do two double crochet, chain 2, and then back into that same spot we're going to do 3 more double crochet. We'll chain 1, and now again we're going to be working into each of these corners here. 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet with the chain 1 and skipping over. That might have been a little confusing, but you'll see what I mean. To create that straight edge or side of the heart, the point. Chaining 1 and into the next space, 3 double crochet, 2 chains, 3 double crochet. Got one more, chain 1 and into that last chain 2 space, 3 double crochet, 2 chains, 3 double crochet. Go ahead, do that chain 1, and then we're going to slip stitch into the top of that 3rd chain. So far you should be looking like this, a whole lot like a granny square. My stuff getting all crazy. All right, so from here we're going to chain 1, and into this same space we're going to work a single crochet, and then this one can kind of be hard to see, but this right here is actually our 2nd stitch. So we're going to do another single crochet in the 2nd stitch, and the 3rd, and then you're going to do another one right into that chain 2 space. Chain 1, slip stitch around that chain, and then work another single crochet, and then we're going to single crochet up to our next chain 2 spot. So you can go right through or right over that chain 1 spot. It really doesn't matter. I like to go through because I feel like it gives it a little bit cleaner, you know, a cleaner edge as we're working across there. Then each one of these double crochets will get a single crochet as well. and then one into our chain 2 space. Now we're going to start the so here we just worked around this way, and we're going to start on this first, I guess, shell. And how these are worked is we're going to do 12 treble crochets, so that's yarning over twice, into this next space here, the chain 1 space. So again, you'll yarn over twice, insert your hook and drop your loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the remaining 2. We're going to do a total of 12 of these treble crochets all into this same spot right here. You ever counting in your head and you start thinking of other things? Because that's what I just did. Just kind of glancing, I think I need a couple more. Let's see how many that is. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Still need 2 more. Total of 12 of these, excuse me, the treble crochets, which is yarning over twice, inserting your hook, drawing up a loop, pulling through 2, pull through 2, pull through the remaining 2. So after you have your 12, I like to kind of, even them out along that space that we did in case some of your stitches got cramped. Now into this chain 2 space, we're just going to slip stitch to create the point, where it comes in here. That is the single crochet. So after you do your slip stitch, my bad, we're going to work 12 more of those treble crochets into the next chain 1 space right here. I think this is 11. It's always good to count unless you want your heart to be lopsided, but I feel like this is 12. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12. Was right on with that. Now we're going to follow that same pattern that we did leading up to that first shell along down this other side. So right here you see that chain 2. Going to place a single crochet in there. And then into each of our stitches to our join, which will be a total of 4, I believe. 2, 3, and I'm going to go right through that chain 1 we did. Don't split on me now. Of course it is on my last stitch. Come on, there we go. Go ahead and do a slip stitch through your first stitch created, or wherever you prefer to hide your join. Just cutting off here because guess what? We are already finished. Just weave those ends in now. But now I have my white heart and my pink one for starting of my banner. Ah, thanks, Michelle. And while I have you guys on here, I always like mixing and matching different textures, and so I'm actually going to do another one of these hearts. I thought that this would complement these ones nicely and just give, like I said, I'm all about texture, to break it up a little bit, and also use yarn that I've had sitting for a while now. I don't know where all of my big hooks are, so I just grabbed an 8mm, but like I said at the beginning of this tutorial, you guys can use whatever size hook and fiber you have available to you to create the same look here. I'm afraid to center pull this, you guys. Some of the softest ever, but I'm like, should I pull from... Okay, here we go. Okay, this is how I find my center pull. Sometimes it works out really well, sometimes, well, not so good. It's kind of looking like, well, it could have been worse. Didn't get too much yarn barf. Sometimes you'll get a whole tangled section of it, and that's not my favorite. Yeah, you just gotta kind of shake it out to find where the end is. Yeah, no problem, Erica. I always feel super accomplished when I get some holiday projects, like especially for things like St. Patrick's Day and Valentine's Day, which aren't like, I know a lot of people celebrate them, but it's not obviously quite as popular as Christmas and some of the other holidays, Halloween and stuff. So I always feel really accomplished when I actually have projects out before the holiday comes. All right, so starting over again, we're going to start with a magic ring with a chain 3. This heart's going to be nice and fluffy. 2 and 3. I like to give myself a little bit more room to work with. You know, that tail is what closes it up, so it also will make it larger if you need more of a space to work over, because it's really important that when you're working with the magic ring, that your stitches go over both of the loops here, because if not, you will drop stitches when you go to join together. So that first chain counts as our first stitch, and we want to have 4 groups of 3 double crochet. With chain 2 between. Got 3 more to go here. 3 more sets, that is. This fiber is like a cloud to work with. Gonna have to address this yarn. Okay. So we've got 1, 2, 3. The chain 2 and our 4th and final group of 3 double crochet. Also keeping, if you guys saw that I just untwisted my tail here, that will also help you, especially when you're working with like a chunky yarn like this. Sometimes it can get caught and just become kind of tangled up when you go to close your ring. If you make sure that you untwist it like that, it'll make it go a little bit smoother for you. All right, now I'm going to start closing this just a bit. But like I had shown in the first one, there's a really cool join that I learned, and that's actually working your join into the 3rd chain using a double crochet. So I had yarned over, inserted my hook into that 3rd chain, just working a double crochet. I just really like how that substitutes a chain 2 really, really well. I'm untangling now so I don't have to keep stopping. We're going to chain 3 and working around that double crochet that we just created, remembering our chain 3 counts as our first stitch. We're going to do 2 more double crochets, chain 2, and 3 more double crochets into that chain 2 space. Chain 1, and then again into our chain 2 spaces we'll be working 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. Chain 1 before we do 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet into the chain 2 space. Hey Stacy, I'm happy to see you on. I feel like the last few times you've jumped on, I either haven't seen your comment or maybe you had missed it, but I'm so happy that you're here. Okay, so after you do those groups, we always have that chain one between, and then the last set of 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet. I'm at that awkward part in the skein where it doesn't pull real loosely. It's not going to come willingly. We're back to our beginning, so we'll chain 1, and again we're going to slip stitch into our 3rd chain. 1, 2. Sometimes with the fuzzy yarn it can be a little difficult to see. We're going to chain 1, which counts as our first stitch. Sorry, I'm having a hard time seeing my seeing my stitches there. Sorry, I missed that first one. Our chain 1, and then we are single crocheting into that same spot for a total of 4 double crochets. So there's, single crochets. 2, 3, 4. Do a chain 1 and a slip stitch. Then we're going to work single crochet over the chain, and then 1 into each of the next. Well, we're going to do a total of 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and our 8th one goes over that chain 2. Now we're going to be working our stitches right here all into this chain 1 space. We're going to do a total of 12 treble crochets. So yarning over twice, insert your hook, drop a loop and pull through 2, drop a loop, pull through 2, drop a loop and pull through your remaining 2. Some big old shells, huh? These hearts. Heart wings, I guess. I think that this is 11. Try as I may, I think it's all the yarning over and pulling through. I'm used to just counting in my head. I don't know why I do that. You know, as I'm actually working the trebles. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Perfect. So there's the first side. Oh my gosh, I love this fiber, you guys. It's so squishy. So I'll show you on one of the smaller ones. If you didn't follow along in the first part when I did the smaller one, we just completed this here. So now we're going to work a slip stitch into our next chain 2 space. And then again, we're going to work 12 of those treble crochets into the next chain 1 space right here. The treble crochets are, you know, yarn hoggers. They take a lot of fiber. My yarn's getting all wrapped up in everything else that I have around me. My crafter room. Lord help me. It's Crazyville in here. No, I didn't do a chain one there. I was like, what's going on? There's 7. 8. 9, I think. Jeez. Here I am counting out loud and can't even keep track. Where is my mind today? Maybe one more? Now it feels like I have a lot. More than I should. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Well, count is on. I'm going to just move my stitches around a little bit. Sometimes they get squished when you're working them around that spot. So you got to manipulate them just a little bit. We're going to work, excuse me, 5 single crochets down the side to complete this. So we had 2 there, 3, 4, and I'm just going to go over my chain spot because I don't feel like fighting with it. We're going to slip stitch to our first stitch made, just like so. Snip your work. Your heart is complete. Might play with it just a little bit. I don't love it as much in the puffier, you know, in the thicker, heavier weight yarn, to be honest. I prefer it more with the, I prefer the definition in the lighter weight yarn. What do you guys think? You like the puffy one? Which actually this, you guys, Like, I like both of these materials. Maybe not so much for this motif pattern, but this stuff is super dreamy. Like, you want to make a blanket. You want to make a blanket or something that you're going to have against your skin out of this material right here, which I'll show you guys what it is. It's this Baby Bee Adorable in pink multi-white. I found this at Hobby Lobby. I do have to say though, if you are interested in this and you're going to be buying it online, that it's not, if you want it in a different color, the rainbow, I think it's called Rainbow Sprinkles, is as soft as this one is, but not all of them are as soft as this one. Like the blue one, I don't know really how to explain it, but this pink multi one, and there's also a blue multi one, and then the Rainbow Sprinkles, which is, I think yeah, I do. I do have a scan of it, so I'll show you guys with the Rainbow Sprinkles. See, here's the Adorable and Rainbow Sprinkles, and I'm telling you, I wasn't even planning on gushing over some fiber today, but since I worked with it, I'm just telling you, this stuff is next level soft. Perfect for hats, even better for a blanket. Then, I wonder if I can show you no, that's not the Adorable. So that's all I have for you guys today. I am going to be posting the diagram that I followed. I found it free on Pinterest, and so thought I would give you guys a rundown if you're not familiar with following diagrams. But that's about it for today. Thanks for everybody who's jumping on and chatting with me. Let's see here. The larger one looks nice, but the smaller ones do look nicer. I agree. Oh, and I know a lot of you probably already know how to weave, but I think I'll just do that real quick, because if I don't weave them with you guys on, I'll never weave them in. Then my little banner won't get finished. So just for a few minutes. So like I've shown you guys before, when I weave in ends, I was taught that you always go through some of the stitches, and you want to go through one, and then back through some of the same stitches if you can, depending on the fiber you're using. Always 3 times, because basically you're ensuring when you go through 3 times that it's never coming out. Like, your work is not going to unravel if you use this technique. I know some people prefer to just crochet over their ends, and I think that technique works a little bit better with bulkier yarn. But ultimately, if you use it with a finer fiber, or at least in my experience, you're going to have ends poking out all over the place. So this technique has been what served me really well, and also to keep, where you're weaving them in, it keeps them better hidden. You don't see it quite as much. But the trick of it is to go over, let's see, I'm going to work my way through this little chain. And then since there's a good group of stitches right here, to make it even less noticeable, I'm going to work through those ones. Just want to make sure that I'm going through. It's pretty important when you're able to, that you do go through the fibers, which most yarns you are able to, but a lot of the big time bulky, you're not, and that's why I would suggest just crocheting over those ends. So that's how I weave my ends in when I'm actually weaving them. I'm honest, I hate it. I hate weaving in my ends so much, but it looks so messy, right? Like if you do your projects and then just leave your ends, it looks messy. It doesn't, and maybe it's not, you know, important to you, but it drives me crazy. Drives me a little batty. All right, you guys, well, there it is. I hope that you create something, you know, really fun and festive for the holidays, like my nails. I'm just feeling so on point with the Valentine spirit. All right, well, thanks for following along. Happy hooking. Have a great day, and I'll chat and hopefully hook with you guys all real soon. See you later.